What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video where today we are back with another episode of Insider. Now, in the last episode we reacted to the most realistic movie props that they make, and they were absolutely insane. Now, if you missed that video, be sure to go back and watch it because you will probably be blown away by the amount of effort and work that goes in behind the scenes to make some insanely realistic movie props. But without further ado, today we are going to be reacting to how they make realistic explosions in movies. Let's jump straight into it. I'm excited because who doesn't love a good explosion in a film?
They don't mess about.
Here we go.
In Yorkshire. Rowley SFX specialise in explosive effects.
Let's see how this
you might know
all
their work
works.
From Peaky Blinders.
Oof! Peaky. I've
More and
watched
more
that. That is
movies
an
rely on
insane
visual
explosion.
effects to create impressive explosions.
Okay.
But did you know companies like this one use all kinds of inventive methods to
Interesting
give a reference
contraptions.
to CG, as well as for actors and stunt performers to react.
That's actually kind of crazy because that,
We have come all
like,
the way up.
let's just recap. Well, I'd say recap. Let's just get a quick example. With basically what these people do is they do small explosions, or as they said, reference explosions, for then the CGI team or whatever to go in and then make them massive and make them look crazy is what I'm getting from this start. But let's carry on. Let's see what happens. And this is good so far. This is good so far.
Up to Yorkshire to blow some stuff up and have a look at the value of practical effects.
I want to go to Yorkshire and
And
blow
I'm going
stuff
to try
up.
and make my
That sounded kind of bad. I don't mean I want to blow up Yorkshire. I meant I want to do this. Let's carry on.
own version of the action star facing away from explosion sequence.
Good shot.
Today, we're going to be setting off some bullet hits and explosive
Oh,
effects.
I like bullet hits.
all
I
in
think
this
bullet
yard
hits are cool.
Just outside of Leeds. Showing us around is dad Ian Rowley and his son Rob.
If I could do
When
bullet, if I made a
hit
film,
any surface,
I'd
they
love to
fragment
like try and get
up
bullet
dust
hits.
and debris. This is created by a series of hidden dust hits.
These are the bags full of dust, and with a small maroon in it. Every one has its own individual radio receiver. So the radio
Interesting,
receiver is up there in this particular case. That's the rig. So that cable goes back up there like that and over the wall. So when that's fired, that'll blow the bits out.
It's just crazy how like things like this have like
It's a very simple hit.
advanced over the years. Like, how did they come up with this stuff?
One, action!
That was a lot louder than I thought.
That
it
was
gonna
that.
be.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was loud.
The benefit of using a squib here is that the actor can stand close, about a foot away, in a scene with other live action. It's safe to be that close to it.
Well, yeah, it's just a shockwave. It's energy shockwave.
Yeah.
The only debris that's in it.
I really want to use one now. I don't know why. I just feel like I want to make a film just so I can use that.
It's got a steel casing around it, and the steel fragments, and the steel is what causes all the damage.
Yeah. But what about fireballs?
Now, they didn't say anything about this, but do they have to use different sizes for different bullets? Because obviously, like a handgun bullet is a lot smaller than a sniper bullet. So do they use like different sizes? They haven't said anything about that, but maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Maybe I'm asking too many questions. Let's just carry on.
Of course, you could do a fire explosion purely in CG, which wouldn't damage a building. But this method doesn't allow for stunt actors to react to a series of explosions.
Well, that wasn't
You
great.
could use a scale model of the set and do a smaller explosion on that. But unless your budget is Star Wars level, you can't convincingly situate actors in frame. Rowley SFX uses a propane gas system that actually protects buildings, with the benefit of being able to film the shot
Well, that's
live
pretty cool.
with
That's
real
cool.
actors and vehicles. You can see it at work here in the Season 2 opener of Peaky Blinders.
That's so mad. I like
vessel
Peaky Blinders.
can,
Peaky Blinders is so
fill
good.
with propane, something flammable, or something inert like nitrogen, to give either a fireball or a big blast of air. Fill a hopper with dust, and, fire that over somebody, or we can build this into a shop window.
They've like really
fireball out
thought
of it. They're really
absolutely
versatile.
every scenario,
Lots of
haven't
equipment.
they?
They have various sizes of them. One of these will give you a fireball that's about sort of 9-10 meters.
So it's when you don't need structures effectively being compromised.
Yeah, so it's like a giant shotgun. Where we point it is where it goes.
That's
You
pretty
might
cool.
also
I
see
like
this
that. I like that one.
technique for bomb blasts in TV and movies, with a container hidden out of sight.
Standard stage flash pot, which gives us a bright white point of ignition, and some smoke with it. This is called a robot, a shower of very hot sparks.
I would love to work on like this side of a
So this
film.
would
I think it'd
normally
be so
sort of dug
fun.
under the ground then.
They've been buried, yeah, for mortars out of the ground, or stood around the back of a vehicle, and piped in through the floor. This particular method makes that a lot softer, so we're blowing it into this tank where it can sort of disperse and it will go up. Okay, going live and firing in 3, 2, 1.
I want to do it. I want to mess around with these things. I don't know why. I just think it would be so
If you can't
fun.
get access to Buckingham Palace to blow it up on camera, you're going to use VFX. But on a set or old building, this is a system that's quickly set up and controlled.
I wonder how many times they had to do that without him
Using
flinching.
a woofer
Because I'll be honest, if that was me, I'd flinch every time.
and comes in varying sizes. These guys might make this look easy, but setting up this kind of equipment takes years of training and skill. The company goes all the way back to 1946.
They were doing this in 1946?
He blew up the Queen at one stage.
I think we're the only effects company ever to get anywhere near it with pyrotechnics. So we've had this request from Buckingham Palace, the Queen's coming up.
She looks really, really thrilled with that burning post office.
So we loaded the silo blasters.
That's crazy. They've been doing it for so
The only
long.
effects I've ever done with a suit on. I was suit and a tie.
To show the impact of an explosion on the ground, the team fills containers such as this bomb tank with rubble or soil.
I put a big lifting charge in the bottom, maybe some petrol on top, or fill it with soil, big boom. The shape of this means it goes upwards and not left and right.
War movies and TV shows will use something like this in a well-timed action sequence, such as stunt performers being thrown into the air by
That's
impact.
sick.
For the biggest
That looked like a
stunts,
good film. What was that?
people use gallons of kerosene. and
1917.
powder
Amazing film. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It is one of the best films I've ever watched.
with the explosions enhanced afterwards in CG. Take this shot from The Dark Knight Rises, where charges compacted with dirt were fired from the ground of Heinz Field while stuntmen sprinted away. The crumbling field
Oh, that's
underfoot
crazy.
was added in post-production.
You'd have a stuntman run by, he'd hit a trampette, like a little trampoline. As he jumps on it and you see him leave, that's your cue to fire it, and he's travelling on the back of that.
It's all about timing.
Timing and cues.
Imagine,
that can be
like,
quite
imagine
tricky in
every
situations where
time
you've
you
got
take a
lot of
shot, you
extras,
miss
a
the
lot of
timing.
multiple things,
That'd be so
multiple
annoying.
cues.
Like, I bet that
Timing is
happens so
everything
often.
in this industry. For the biggest explosion ever created on a set, the destruction of Blofeld's Moroccan comm centre in Spectre, SFX supervisor Chris Corbould used 2,224 gallons of kerosene
Jesus
and
Christ.
72 pounds of powder explosives.
Imagine
to
getting that wrong.
detonate in the middle of a line of dialogue. This is why SFX teams
Imagine
always go
being the
through
one that
quite
has to
carefully
push the
set.
button and you get it
If
wrong.
looks good,
And
only
it
needs a
just goes
small
off at
amount of
completely the wrong time.
preparation afterwards.
You'd probably
The
be
way an explosion
fired.
is shot can change everything. For huge nuclear explosions, filming a wide-angle shot can expose the magnitude of the explosion by capturing the vast space around it. This is normally done in VFX, mimicking an irreparable destruction. Other movies choose to do full coverage and enhance it later in CG, such as this truck explosion in Mad Max Fury Road. The effect, which used 96 detonators and 1,360
Oh my
meters of
goodness.
fuel, was extremely
It's so,
difficult
it must be
to
so
edit,
expensive for just
and
one
with
explosion
SFX
of this
captured
size.
from different angles. Characters and foreground layers were added in afterwards in CG. Occasionally, though, the stature of the main character will be enhanced by using a short focal length on an actor to make the explosion look more dramatic. These are the kind of
The
slow
classic
motion
walk
big
away.
shots used all the time in action movies. So that's what we're gonna have a go at today.
I love that. Like any action
Okay.
film, you will see the main character walk away from an explosion. It's just
Okay.
iconic.
Fire it.
Okay.
And you're not going to stop.
No, I'm just gonna keep going. No one's doing slow-mo on this, right?
3, 2, 1, action!
Here's the shot from different angles.
Ah, I love it.
Full coverage and the more stylized action shot. which makes the explosion look a lot bigger than it is. This could also be enhanced in CG and graded.
I tried to give a Zoolander phase, but I think I just look really out of breath. Oh, it's still burning.
That's just the aftermath, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
It was an explosion. I mean, it does still burn after it explodes.
deal with that, reset.
So did I manage to pull off the shot? The explosion looks much bigger behind me at this angle, but I think you really have to be walking to look as cool as The Rock.
I mean, there was no... I couldn't
Would
see a
you always
difference.
say, like,
I could not see a
the
difference
was
there.
the best way. You've got to have foundation there.
Definitely work alongside. I mean, there was, you know, when things, you know, the effects, you know, started to become a thing, they always want a practical element, you know, to give the actor something to respond to, you know, the way light interacts with it. Maybe they can't afford or haven't got the time to do, you know, 100 hits around a room. Maybe we just do 20 physical ones.
While I doubt I'm going to be getting that stunt recruitment phone call anytime soon,
Oh, I'm scared.
it was fascinating to see the intricate...
This has been actually a really
to
cool one.
recreate movie explosions.
Do you know what? I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed that one. However, I do have to ask, that one in James Bond, let's go back to it. This one here, right? What happens if you mess this one up? Like, how long does it take them to set this up? And then if you mess this one up, can you just reset it easily with no problems? Or, like, are you going to get fired? Because that is obviously, you know, it's CGI to look worse, but still, you've got to use all of this. So what happens if you mess it up? That's what I want to know. Can you just simply reset it? Or is someone going to shout at you for doing it wrong? Because I wouldn't want to be that person that messes it up. But that is going to be it for this episode of Insider. I really like that one, and I really, really, really wish I could go onto a film set and just mess around with some, well, not mess around with some of this stuff, but just see this stuff in person, because I think it's so cool what you're able to do with explosions in films, and then they CGI it to make it look better. It just blows my mind. It's insane, and I absolutely love it. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you're new around here, and I shall see you in the next one. Adios.